This is Balanced, a holistic lifestyle podcast for millennials that focuses on mastering mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, Jabu Vive, a Jamaican mother, wife, educator, and motivator. Follow me as we dive into all of life's compartments on my journey to striking the balance. What a guan, Beauts! I hope we've been turning up over this past week. Turn up for work on time. Turn up to your relationship and not in somebody else's. Talk truth. I hope we've been our best selves. If you're new to this podcast, big up your clean self. If you've missed the previous episode, no bother fret. You can head over to my YouTube channel to check it out and all the other refreshing content the Balanced family has to offer this season. I have an announcement to make, Beauts. We're drawing to the end of our season, and I have to admit, with one more episode to tie things up, I've enjoyed being here to vibe with you. I'm your sage, Jabu V, and today's show is all about limits, where we'll be talking about being limitless while living within limitations. Welcome to the Balanced family, Beauts. Let's jump right in. First off, the fact is, we're already walking around within limitations, especially today when we're basically 3 years into a pandemic, because let's get real. So many countries are still experiencing new variants of this virus, or physical interactions are limited, or freedom of movement has been limited. Babylon enforced the borderlines. You can't look around without feeling powerless. The ideology of power was unreachable for me. No, it wasn't ingrained in me from birth to not embrace my power. I simply didn't know what it meant. But the people around me, people in my environment, they knew, and they believed they defined it for me. Beauts, listen. I'm a whole lot of melanin from a third world country. Big up my island, Jamaica, same way. Bap, you don't know. But I have been in positions where I felt I had little to no power. Plenty women I know can attest to the fact that, hey, just being a woman can in and of itself be a limitation. Before I go in and knock this out of the park for you, I'd like to take a moment to salute all the warriors who have been fighting on the front line since the beginning of this pandemic. Big up to all the survivors who thought they would have lost their sanity, all the hustlers who had to make do without their jobs, and all the lovers who understood the unconditional assignment. We are here, and so we are winning. Take your flowers. Babylon, a term found in biblical scripture that is used in the Jamaican Rastafarian culture to mean government or authority. The Oxford Dictionary actually defines it as a contemptuous or dismissive term for aspects of white culture seen as degenerate or oppressive, especially the police. My definition of power is this: being able to live my fullest life under my conditions, attaining set goals, and being happy by my merit. Power for me is being able to speak my truth without being guilty or fearful of judgment. My power is being able to help those who need it and to love deeply. I know you've been thinking about it. Share it with us, your Balanced family. What is your definition of power? What makes you powerful? Find me on TikTok or on Twitter at JEBUVVT, you don't know, and we can hold a reason over there. All right? Power is something people fight for. We're not talking about the power you get from being wealthy or the power muscles give you in physical strength. I'm not talking about political power and influence either. The power I'm referring to is that fire burning in all of us. The power I'm talking about, my power, was sitting in wait for me to come to the realization that it was already there. It was already mine. and I had the potential to unlock it. Now, circumstances have a major impact and influence on our lives. They play a crucial role in being able to attain our true power. Situations that we were born into, things we have no control over, because let's face it, there are so many things in this world we can do nothing about. We don't choose who our parents are or where we grew up. We can't choose what the color of our skin is or give ourselves illnesses, but these aspects of our lives, these limitations, have a stronghold over how we hone in on our true power. By all means, circumstances could define you. You could take the beating and lay there mad at these limitations, mad at the hand you were served. Or you could take the wheel. Take the bull by its horns. Take the lessons you've learned whenever faced with obstacles, oppression, or uncontrollable circumstances and use them to improve your situation. Earlier this season, I remember talking about always having a choice. Well, with the power that you have, you can always make one. You can turn any negative into a positive. That's the power I'm talking about. A power that doesn't pay attention to the words can't, will not, and give up. Hey, we're gonna dash with that. We are throwing out the words give up, can't, and will not from our vocabulary. Let's get it done. Okay, Beauts, story time. I have a day job, a 9-to-5, right? I'm an educator who focuses on self-expression and honing in on the skill to put what you need to say out there for people to digest. Now, usually I'd go, oh, ew, and shy away from the idea of having to work a job for a living. But listen, this is different, and here's why. There are more things I love about going into work than things I hate. Yeah, I know, I'm kind of lucky. I'm blessed for that. What do you say? Gotta give thanks, right? But yeah, I love my job for the fact that I get to work face to face with individuals whom society has put limitations on. People that are stereotyped as lost causes and void of value. It's so funny how much I've learned while engaging these same beguiling individuals in my years of working within the penal system. I have seen how a person's definition of power took them from the mindset of literally being imprisoned to a person so free, so limitless, that while being incarcerated has evolved into kings and queens, thriving in their power. I've said this before and I'll keep saying it, beautiful people. A person's quality of life has everything to do with perspective, their point of view, their thinking. Your limitations have very little to do with whatever constraints are placed by society, government, family, and or other loved ones. Your limitations arise when you limit yourself. You're limited when you think small, when you think negatively, and when you believe that who you are is not worthy of what you desire. You're limited by your perspective when you don't see that no matter what you face, you have a choice. You can choose to unlock and embrace the power you have within yourself. You can choose to walk away from a bad relationship, beautiful people. If this was your warning sign, if this was what you were waiting for, you got it. Walk away. If it is not serving you, leave it alone. You can choose to ignore naysayers as well. Because listen, haters are always gonna hate. You can choose to start that business. You can choose to be the best version of yourself regardless of your limitations, not the ones you can't control, but how you approach the things you can. Beauts, alright, let's stick a pin, catch our breaths and refresh ourselves because listen, I'm about to serve you some food for thought when we get back. Thank you for staying with me, Beauts. Now listen, I'm not here to act as though I have all my puzzle pieces in order. I'm here sharing with you how I got to this point. Yes, okay, I am a woman, the Nubian kind, who has faced obstacles both internally and out, but I came to accept who I was and my so-called limitations by coming to the realization that my perspective could make me limitless. I began thinking differently. When faced with a roadblock I had no control over, I chose to shift my perspective. I decided that I was not going to sit there lame, lost, and illogical. Hell no. In every bad thing, there is a good. So, okay, all right. I was going to flip the situation for my better. I started asking myself questions like, what do I need to learn from this? Do I need to control how I responded? Do I need to be more calm and observant than vocal? Maybe I was supposed to learn some patience. I hope you're hungry, Beauts, because this plate is scrumptious. I want to give you a morsel to digest before we end our show today, as per usual. So, this is it. The truth is, roadblocks will come up. Limitations are endless on our journeys because we can't control everything, and that's sadly just the reality of it. Things won't always go our way. We have to accept that. But in doing that, you open yourself up to all these other possibilities, and that's when you unlock your true power. You evolve into your power when you can shift your perspective and think outside of the box. When you realize you have control over you, you become that dynamic individual because you can harness the ability to choose. Ha! More power to you. More power to you, Beauts. Let's affirm. I already have the power to overcome. I already have the power to overcome. If you haven't already awoken to your inner strength, know that regardless of your circumstances, you are limitless. So, what will you choose to do today? Stay thinking and acting in the same old way, or are you going to think positively, proactively, progressively, and unlock the true power in you? On that note, we can call this episode a wrap. I hope you enjoyed our session today. I deeply appreciate it. You can find me, your blunt bombshell, at JEBUVVT on Twitter and on TikTok for more motivational content. Join me next week as we strive to strike the balance. Until then, walk good, Beauts. Bless.